Welcome to my third programming assignment. I chose to build on the chase/escape game that we received as one of the game examples, where I've added some new features to the original game. One of the new features are a health point system, which instead of losing points when you're getting hit by an enemy, I implemented this system which takes down on your health instead of your points. When you don't have any more health, you're dead and the game ends. The system itself is really simple. In the setup, I set start HP to 100, and when you get hit, it counts 1 down on HP, and in the end of the program, it prints HP out as a string. From the original, I thought that the amount of enemies were a bit small, and they weren't aggressive enough to catch you most of the times, so I added 10 more and made them fly at a very high speed. They still go after you, but because of their speed, they are rarely on the screen for a long time. And instead, they end out outside the borders, where they break down and start speeding against you again, resulting in 10 enemies who fly from the top to bottom to top again with very high speed, and you can't predict them as they enter from the borders. We were told in the assignment to have one enemy with the color pink, so I simply colored all the enemies pink. I also played around with the colors of the ship, so both those are changed. It was simply changing the RPG values in the draw function. In the original game you could speed to infinite, which many times would throw you off the screen and leave you outside the borders where you were flying and blind. So I added a speed limiter. The speed limiter is incredibly simple. In the control switch I simply check if the ship's speed is above 5. If it is, nothing is changed. If it's below, it adds 0.5 to the ship's speed. I also didn't like how slow the ship was turning, so I made it turn twice as fast by changing the angle of its turns from 15 to 30. Saving the score of your game was a hard part of the assignment, and I didn't succeed in full, but I did manage to save the previous file and save it in a text file. It is done by writing and reading from a document. In the update function, the first thing I do is saving the score as old score, and use the old score as a temporary. Then every time you score a point, it adds 500 points to your current score and it updates the text file. When you die, it prints out the score by reading from the text file. When you start the program again, the cycle begins anew.